Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is QOTD, and as I like to say, we are QOTD, and so can you be. You can join us by recording your video answers to our awesome daily questions. Right now, we're doing the daily recap show, and this is our first recap show of the week.
Yes. Oh, and then you can also vote for your favorite answers to determine who makes it to the weekly Big Show Championship that happens on Thursdays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yes, we're going to show you how you can make it on the air for Thursday's Big Show, and we are also going to take a look at some of our favorite fan answers to today's QOTD. So, shall we get to the question of the day, boys?
Oh, yes.
Let's
Yes,
do
Do
it.
it. Drum roll.
What's one skill you wish you learned when you were young?
Oh,
Yeah.
super cool, because there are certain kinds of skills, like languages, that you can only really learn when you're young and your brain is a little bit more elastic, you know? So there's certain things that we should be thinking about.
True. So does anyone have any skills that they would have liked to have learned earlier?
Well, as you can see behind me, I think some kind of like gymnastics, definitely how to do a cool headstand like this would have been cool. I think I get more nervous about being upside down the older I get, and it becomes harder to dispel those fears.
Yes.
As opposed to if you were a kid, you know, you kind of just go for everything because you think you're invincible. And now I know that I'm not.
Yeah, gymnastics is definitely one that I thought about, because I guess that we're like born with the yips, and then you gotta unlearn the yips at a young age when you're like you're saying, courageous and foolish. So yeah, but you know, I mentioned languages, so that was definitely one of mine. But I gotta say that in the end, you know what I would really like to know is like how to do like up close magic, right? Like party tricks, just like you're saying. But it would be really awesome to be able to sort of like impress people, or be able to like do a little magic trick. I know it's geeky. That's me.
No? I mean, the sleight of hand, it's very cool. And you have all those videos online of people trying to show how they did the trick. So maybe geeky, but it's very cool to see.
Yeah, prestidigitization, I think.
Exactly. Well, I think on a similar vein, I was also thinking languages and dancing, but I think I'm going to settle on juggling, because it's something like I've tried to learn it in the past, and I feel like if I had started learning it earlier, it would have been so much easier. But that's just something like you see people juggling 4 or 5 different objects. They see them juggling bowling pins and stuff. And I think we could make a circus with our 2 skills. Actually, with all 3 of our skills.
Reed, let me put the question to you. What's
Okay.
magic tricks or juggling?
What's geekier? Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh god, final say. I'm gonna go with magic.
Yeah.
I think juggling has
in a hat. Yeah.
Exactly. And juggling has practical implications too, you know. You don't want to carry a purse. You just keep juggling your items on rotation.
Good point.
Yeah. And if you can juggle 3 balls, you can juggle any amount of time management that you have. So
you can juggle all the tasks in the world.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Well, we have some amazing answers to this question ourselves, but fun fact, we also have a lot of incredible answers from fans from across the world for this question, even though it's literally just came out a few hours ago. So I thought we could take a moment to look at one of our early favorites, and that early favorite is from Smiley, who is receiving the award of Best Potential Skill. So I think we can take a watch and see what he says.
Wish I would have played the guitar better. Like if I would have been young, I would have spent more time playing. And I would be able to approach the music in a different sense, in a way I've always imagined to. But now, I just train to play using my ear.
Oh, Smiley, you're sandbagging. That is a skill that you really don't need to be much better at. God, he's awesome, right?
Especially if he's just training by his ear too. I mean, that's natural talent if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of the really great, you know, rock guitarists and blues guitarists are self-trained. I mean, maybe even all of them, but you know, what they say is that all it really takes is, you know, 3 chords and the truth. And I suppose it takes 3 chords, the truth, and a ton of time to become great. But I really like the sound of him.
Yeah, no. If that's his playing when he's like, oh, I should have learned it when I was earlier. Like, you got it. Keep going.
Yeah.
Start a band. Make it big.
Yeah. I never want to play the guitar around you.
Well, you know, I was talking earlier about how there are things like languages that you really can only learn when you're young, and I suppose gymnastics as well, because of the kind of the state of your brain. But there are other kinds of skills that you can learn just by putting tons of work in. And like golf is one of those things. And I don't know where guitar is. Guitar could be one of those. But they say that you got to put in 10,000 hours into something in order to become really superb at it, you know, and like the context is usually golf. But if you think about it, you could maybe become a great guitarist by putting in 10,000 hours in it. But 10,000 hours, if you're doing an hour a day, that's like 25 or 30 years. I don't know the math, but it's 25 plus years that you would have to put into it. And at a certain point, you run out of time. And so you got to start some of those other things at a really early age, you know, in order to be any good. But so like, yeah, golf, you know, maybe guitar, maybe not. I'm trying to think what else might be like that. Probably like cooking. You can become really great if you put in your 10,000 hours. But it just takes a while. I mean, I'm looking at me, I'm like, all right, you know, what could I possibly learn now? And I'm going to run out of time.
It's also a struggle because like there's so many skills that it's like, yeah, it will take like 30 years for you to get good. And you only realize that that's a skill you want to have or a skill you need to have when you're like in your 20s. And so it's like, oh, if I had known this, I would have started earlier. But now that I can't, it's like, oh, well.
Life is cruel. Life is cruel that way.
It's cruel. We can only settle to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Well, fans, you have 6 days left to answer this week's QOTDs and for a chance to appear on our Thursday Big Show. That is a super fun finale hosted by me, Keith, JJ, and Trish, where we're going to go over some of our favorite answers from the week right here on YouTube, Twitch, or beyondtheair.com.
Yes, shout out to Trish. She's not here today, but we hope that you're watching. And if you are, please come back. We miss you. To record your answer for this big show, you can go to beyondtheair.com and you can click the orange record button under the 24/7 live game stream. And remember, you can still answer today's question or any of this week's other questions, which will be released later on, for your chance to tell us about what skill you wish you'd picked up and for your chance to join us on the air.
So as I was saying, this is our first day of the week. And so there's one QOTD that has been announced, but there are 6 more coming. Each day, a new question. If you would like to be alerted when those new questions become available, so you can think about them and then answer them most awesomely and be on the air, just click the subscribe button, right? Click subscribe on YouTube, register on our site, you know, follow us on Twitch, whatever. And then you will get that notice first thing in the morning that helps you excel and be superb at answering questions of the day. While you're over at the site, by the way, you can also play the Guess and Bid game where you bid stars on your favorite answers, help them get it to the big show, and also you move up the leaderboard when they win. So go ahead and play Guess and Bid just by clicking, you know, the star button.
You could spend 10,000 hours watching QOTD.
I'm so good at it. You become an artificial intelligence.
Yeah, we'll get a league going too. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. A special thank you to everybody who has already watched, voted, and recorded so far. We are QOTD and Beyond the Air signing off, and we'll see you on TV.
Bye, everyone. Oh, bye, everyone. Let's start those 10,000 hours right now.